Royce's friend.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Royce, the voice, Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K Team. It is Monday the 13th, and it is 7 p.m. And we are here like usual, business as usual, man. I know I posted up this thing, like last minute as far as the preparation, but that seems to work. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when we plan stuff, it doesn't really happen according to the way you needed it to be. So I'm sorry for throwing that on there like that to y'all, but I'm glad you're here. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that listened last week and the week before because we had some interesting topics. And you know what I'm saying, as y'all know, I put myself out there, you know what I mean, hoping that I could have inspired somebody. And I hope that I did. And so, we're on to the next week. You know what I'm saying? We're moving right along. And this topic is actually something, what I mean, me and my partners were talking about. Um, I think, last week, say a few days ago. And we boiled it all down to the word cultural deficiency. And so this is what cultural deficiency means. All right. Um, and I mean, it can be several things. Like, for instance, cultural deficiency could be somebody of a different culture, right? Misinterpreting what they think another culture is, and most of the time decides to kind of live that lifestyle with not having the full knowledge of what it's like to live in that culture. It's almost like living in a fantasy world, or what some people say, you're being somebody that you're not. You know what I mean? Or um you could say you're being somebody that you're not, or you're being somebody that you're not based off the lack of knowledge. I believe you got two different kinds. You got ones that have a lack of knowledge, and then you got ones that just acting plain ignorant. You know what I'm saying? That just think that's just the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To get what you want, to be where you want to be in life, or whoever you need in your circle. But we're here to talk about that. And man, it might step on some toes. I don't know, because I mean, one thing that I have learned about people is that we can be sensitive as hell sometimes. So, if you're not sensitive, and you can take things with an open mind, just know I'm not out here trying to bash anybody, black, white, Asian, or anything like that. It really just all just comes down to self love. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody, and pretty soon, man, I'm going to be taking calls in. Shout out to Amber Parker. What's good? 615-933-6757. Oh, I look good in this black, man, blending in with the man. My producer, man, put a nice little background in the back. It's nice and sexy back here. You know what I mean? But anyway, we're talking about cultural deficiency. So, um, before anybody calls in, which is 615-933-6757, I'm just gonna tell you an experience. The experience that I've been through dealing with cultural deficiency. So basically, I had this talk with somebody, which really brought up this conversation, and they were like, you know what I'm saying? You kind of look like a dude that would, you kind of like a dude that would, just talk to white girls. You know what I'm saying? And there was another chick that told me, "Oh, you need to stop talking so intelligent. You need to dumb it down a little bit." You know what I'm saying? Like, you attracting all these white people. You just like white people and all that stuff like that. All right. So all right. So check this out. All right. So I know my dialect. My dialect can be, I don't know, and I hate saying this word, but just so everybody can be on the same level. Like, I know my dialect can be a little proper, or what they would say, like white. You know what I'm saying? And um, just to kind of squash all of that, you know what I'm saying? To me, dialect is dialect, and I know we joke, I know we make fun of it, but like, I'm here to just kind of like just squash that, because I came from Tullahoma High School, which is a predominantly white school. It was about 85% white. I think there was only 12 black people that graduated in my class. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that 2000 class. You know what I'm saying? So I went to, I got a track scholarship at HBCU in Arkansas Pine Bluff. So yeah, to me that was a motherfucking culture shock. That was a culture shock to see all them brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, stomping the yard, you know what I'm saying, and partying and shit like that, and smoking weed, you know what I mean, like, because the school was in the middle of the hood, you know what I mean, and I'm gonna keep it real. Moving from Nashville to Tullahoma and graduating out of Tullahoma, no, I didn't live in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Um, My parents worked hard, and I lived in a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. I didn't have to live that life. You know what I mean? But when I went to Pine Bluff, when I went to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I got a little bit of black, I got a little bit of nigga, I got a little bit of ratchet. I got all that balled up into one, a big gumbo. You know what I'm saying? And so it was really a culture shock for me. You know what I'm saying? So what I did learn was this when I went to this HBCU. Like there was a part of me when I think like my freshman year, when you go to administration and stuff, everybody knows it's been to school, college, anything like that, how tough it is um, going through administration and stuff like that. The lines alone, they be sending you from one place to another. And I remember the administration lady was telling me, she was like, you can't get around here talking like that. That excuse me, please, and talking all like this. Sometimes you got to get in people's asses. That's what she had told me, and I was like, I said, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't what the hell's going on. But you know, um, like I said, it was a culture shock. So I started learning. This is weird from a black man saying this, that he had to learn his culture. I'm not ashamed to say that because I wasn't heavily involved into my culture in high school just due to the lack of history. We had one African American, history class in high school, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't enough. It was just the basic stuff. So me being around, just keep it real, me being around the white culture, the way white people did things there in Tullahoma, I picked up on that. You know what I'm saying? So when I brought it to a black community, they didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't understand my slang. They didn't understand how proper I was talking or just the way that I carried myself, even down to the way that I was dressing. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jessica Christine up in there. What's Amber say? In the theater world, we could call that dialect heightened. Yes, dialect heightened. What's up, Clint Utterback? Yeah, because they definitely do that. Homanson, I come to you and I say, come to here and see what I am doing today for breakfast. That stuff like that. You know how we did the hip hop project. You know what I'm saying? It was about as black as it could be, Amber. But no, just getting back focused on that. Um, there are some people who, let's just get down to it. There are black people and there are white people who change their dialect or their characteristic based on the culture they're around. And we've all seen that. You know what I'm saying? I think we've all seen that. And do you feel that that's right or do you feel that that's wrong? Do you feel that that's just a way to kind of fit in? Because like I said, there are some people who are not knowledgeable. They only do what they see on TV and they think, oh, okay, this is what's up. I'll give you an example. Like I went to go get a haircut the other day, which that don't make no sense because I'm bald, but I was trying to get my face lined up. Now, mind you, this is not what he did, okay? I went there and it was a multicultural barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Multicultural barbershop. Shout out to everybody that just came up in here. You know what I'm saying? Multicultural barbershop. And black, white, everything. So everybody was taken, you know what I'm saying? And there was just one white dude of a nice handful that were in there cutting black people's hair and all that other stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, okay, shit, all right, so maybe this white boy can cut some hair, because he said that he had like an appointment at 2 and I was there like a quarter to 2. And I was gonna wait. I'm gonna keep it real because I judged him a little bit just based off how he looked. He was looking kind of nerdy and Hollywood kind of looking guy. I'm like, has he ever touched a black dude's head before? Let alone their face. So I said that I would wait. He was like, no, I insist, man. I insist. You know what I'm saying? And I said, okay. So I went and sat down and I asked him, I was like, hey, man, do you use the razor? He was like, yeah, I use the razor. All right. So I noticed he had to go get the razor from his other partner in this jail and stuff like that. And so he gets out, first the little clippers, the little edges and all that. And I think that he's edging me up. You know what I'm saying? But this dude ain't touching my face. I'm just feeling like a little soft here and soft there. And, he's turning me around, looking around and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the mirror like, I don't see no shape or anything. Because I told him that. I said, man, I want you to edge up my beard, line it up. You know what I'm saying? Line up my beard. Da-da-da-da. You be the artist. You know what I'm saying? How low you think it should go, whatever. It's like, all right. So I'm thinking that he's sitting there doing the do, so boom. I'm trusting him. He put up the clippers and then he go get the blade. I'm like, all right, now I'm about to get busy. So he gets the blade, you know what I'm saying? And then he starts, edging up my beard, my mustache and all that, but I don't feel him. I don't feel any pressure, like anything. Cause when you're at the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? And they put that blade to, they usually put the hand right there and they're really sculpting, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like this dude was sculpting nothing, let alone he didn't even go up under my neck. You know what I'm saying? He just started edging up the line that was around my neck that I already had, but he didn't clean up the area that he edged around. You know what I mean? So it was weird. So he did like a damn near 360 spin on me. He spun around like, he was like, "Man, what you think?" I'm like, man, it looks a little uneven right here. He had my goatee looking like that, you know what I mean? And it didn't look like he touched up anything. And I was in a hurry at the time. I was like, look, bro, I said I don't this ain't really it, man. You know what I mean? I can't give you no $10 for this. Like I'll give you five, like for your efforts or whatnot. But you know, I went back home and I did it myself. And here's the point that I'm trying to make here. You know what I'm saying? Um, my point is, I felt like what he did, and I'm not saying it was bad, it was wrong, but I really feel like that he wanted me to feel like he could cut a black person's hair. You know what I'm saying? And my first instinct was to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I just feel that he wanted to make me feel comfortable, right, with getting my hair cut from a white man that may not look like he can cut a black dude's hair. Because when his appointment came in, I spun around and looked, and he looked just like the barber. You know what I'm saying? Kind of California dream guy kind of dude that don't look like they get the same type of edge ups that black men get, because our face and our hair is a little more coarse. I sort of say a little more coarse, a little more brittle. You know what I'm saying? So that lineup got to be clean and fresh and and sharp. So man, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then there's other situations where it's like this, man. You've got some white women, and I talked about this in the last season. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna talk about white women and black women in this situation. You got some white women, even where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? But you got some white women, we all know some, that portray this image of a black female, what they have in their mind, you know what I'm saying? And they from based off of what they see. And they portray that kind of image, and they walk around and they talk it and they walk it and stuff like that. But they are ignorant to the history of black culture. So what they do is they take what they see and they make it seem like this is how black women act today. You know what I'm saying? And that can cause a whole ball of confusion. You've got some black women who I feel that separate from their culture, or maybe feel more comfortable with, I would say, just say like the white culture. They would put on that particular face around white people, but then when they get around black people, it's back to going to your culture. You know what I'm saying? Your true element. I guess how you were raised. But and I'm not saying a lot of people can argue about that. You know what I'm saying? It really is. But is it really something that you're supposed to be mad at? You know what I'm saying? Is it really something that you feel like we have to do to make people comfortable? Or can you be unapologetically yourself? Can you be unapologetically black, man or woman, unapologetically white, man or woman, and go through life like that? I mean, we deal with it through jobs. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. Not just with black people, but with white people too. If if a white DJ comes into Hot 97 New York talking about I want a job, you know what I mean? They're gonna look at him like he's a little funny. You know what I'm saying? Because within the culture, I know there's white DJs and black DJs, but then when it comes to hip hop and DJ, yeah, the white dude's gonna be looked at funny, just how everybody looked at Eminem until he opened up his mouth and rap. You know what I'm saying? Eminem's a good example. I don't think he has cultural deficiency because I think he's aware of the culture because hell, he was in the culture. He lived in poverty amongst black and white people. So he it's almost like he didn't really see color. Like we see color, but he didn't disrespect still the ultimate struggle that black men and women went through. You know what I'm saying? And he stayed in his own lane. But then you got some other ones that try to take on that culture, which is what Dame Dash calls culture vultures, thinking that's the only way to be accepted. Man, the only way that you can be accepted to me, honestly, is just being yourself, being the person that you are. If you're black and you have a white dialect or you're into the white culture, man, that ain't nothing to be ashamed about. Just to be honest, it's really all about your culture. But I also want you to realize where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And not to forget that. Don't leave that. Uh, don't have cultural deficiency. What I told my partner today, I said, my business partner, I said, let's be cultural efficient, where we're aware of our surroundings, but we haven't forgot about where we came from. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Because it's I see where the conflict is. I really do. Because I see I hear this argument all the time. You know what I mean? Hell, when we do jobs as a black man, as many jobs as I had, every time I went to an interview, I felt like real talk that I can't talk like I'm talking on here. Of course, I'm not. I don't mean like with all the cussing and shit like that, but how I'm speaking right now, my dialect and how I'm talking, just real comfortable. Me, I would be afraid to talk like this trying to get a job because when you're going in to get a job, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and this could be with anybody. You're just, hi, yes, my name is James Royce Maxengill. I'm from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, by way of Tullahoma, Tennessee. I have a degree in mass communications, radio and television, and a minor in stage performance. Graduated 2007. Actually pending my master's right now online at Colorado State University. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not who we are. You know what I'm saying? And actually, I need to call this person back. Can you turn that phone on? I'm sorry about that. I think that was Amber that just called. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Hello.
Hey, did you call me? You know, you called me live, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. What's good? We got you on here, man. First of all, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing well. Hello to everyone at Royce's
Yes.
Rant.
And tell them where you
I
calling
just wanted
from.
to.
What
Oh,
state you calling from?
I'm calling from Texas.
We got
Hello,
Texas
hello.
in the house. Yeah, holla at me. What's good?
And and you cannot tell because when I tell people that I'm from Texas, they cannot tell because of the way that I speak. When
Oh,
I first came to DeSoto, Texas, where I was raised
yeah.
primarily, I got a lot of shade simply because of the way that I speak. And I was called all kinds of names. Oreo because I was supposedly black on the outside and white on the inside, and I
Mm.
was strange because it was not a homogeneous place at that time. There were more black people and black students than white students, but white students were there, and so it created this conundrum where I was too black to be friends with the white students, but not black enough to be friends with the black students. And I'm here to tell you, do not dumb yourself down. Do not try to assimilate into anything because if people don't like you for who you are and they're juvenile enough
Mhm.
to eliminate you based on your dialect,
Right.
that's them not stepping up to the plate. And for someone, especially someone in a recruiting office or I've been in that line too,
Right,
because I
right,
went to the
right.
University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff as well. For someone to tell you you're
Yes.
going to have to dumb yourself down, that's the problem in our culture now is that there's this accepted vernacular where we don't put R's on the ends of our words or
Mhm.
that we are trying to be white. No, I'm trying to be understood
Right.
by everyone. And I am not going to allow anyone to belittle me or berate me because I choose to speak the language that I was born to speak. And I think that is such a shame in our culture, particularly in the Black community today, to vilify someone for the way that they speak. And if you don't understand it because you can't step up to the plate, that is you. Because I am not going to, blow my candle out so you can shine brighter. Absolutely not. Get a dictionary. They're available for 99 cents and work it out, because that's the world that you live in.
And see that's exactly how I feel inside, Amber. And then what I'm trying to get people to understand is like, I think I understand how crippled we are to this particular situation, because we have been programmed to portray a certain type of characteristic, you know what I'm saying, to get with. They're afraid, like, oh man, like, well, if I'm too Black, like I've been at this job for 5 years and da da da, like if I'm too much of myself, you know what I'm saying, I may get fired, or I may get demoted to some, I think it's more about fear than anything. I feel like people really want to be themselves at all times, but I just think it's in fear of the chokehold that these jobs, government, and stuff like that have a hold on us, which is why I really want to push people to go for independence, like being independent, like starting your own business and stuff like that. Like, we don't have to worry about having them side talks on break, smoking a cigarette. Man, you know what I'm saying? The boss got on my fucking nerves. I mean, that one dude to be micromanaging, but he ain't no supervisor.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you had your own shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, your supervisor can be a reflection of you. Never get on your nerves. You know what I mean? So, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What do you think needs to be done for people to get over, possibly? Because, I mean, now think about it now. They could lose some things that they work for because of the image that they put upon themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know how people have created that image just to get ahead. What would you say to people that that feel the same way but don't know, if it's a good idea because of how hard they work for putting up this image?
I would say it goes back to, in this country, depending on what state you live in, you're going to have an accent, which is going to affect your dialect. And that's fine. But understand that if you ever expect to get beyond where you are and to mingle in the world that we live in, that understands that in the United States of America, we speak English and we speak Spanish, you're going to have to step up to the plate at some point. There is nothing good about belittling yourself.
Right.
So that someone who refuses to take up the gauntlet can understand you. Now, it's different if you're tailoring yourself to your audience because you're a public speaker. That's one thing. But I would say understand that this is the country that you live in. And if you expect to get beyond where you are, you're going to have to step up. And that's just the reality, because we don't run the world.
Right.
And unless you can create your own, you're going to have to work on communicating effectively with other people. And there's nothing good about, well, I'm just going to be me. Be you. Right. But that has nothing to do with the language that you speak. The word is written one way.
Right. That's
true. And that's it.
That's true. That's true. You guys have heard it straight from Ms. Amber Parker, straight out of Texas.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I appreciate you calling in, man. It's always good to hear you on this other side of the fence. You know what I mean?
I just love Royce's Rant. I tell everyone about it because it is a wonderful broadcast. Thank you for doing what you're doing, sir.
Man, I try to do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, then.
That's that Texas slang right there. All right. I'll holler at you, though.
Bye-bye.
All right, one. All right, everybody. That was the lovely and beautiful Miss Amber Parker, you know what I mean, calling out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? And hold on, I think we have another call. Just a moment. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that might be something else. I don't know who that is. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Oh, who was that called? Cause I'm over here fucking some shit up. But hold on for a minute. Let me see who this was real quick. Can you turn that up? It's the little thing. We gonna get this thing right.
This is Russ. How may I help you?
What's up, Russ?
What's up, Roy?
Man, you got one of them numbers. You got one of them. That must be. That sounds like a business number. That number. Yeah. That.
I won't shut up my business.
Yeah, I didn't want to give it out there. I don't know. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know, you might be an escort or something, bro. You know, give you some.
I felt like inclined to call in because the post you did the other night, like how you're honest about, how you're molested and everything.
Yeah.
I think, I want to tie that into like social racism tonight.
Word.
Because when we shot the movie here at my house with you and all our friends and everything, there was how would I say this? A certain person put braces like,
gotcha.
Like it's not happening for a certain reason. Not put names out there.
Yeah.
And we all went outside the back of my house like gentlemen. We worked it out, and it's you and two other gentlemen. It has turned my life around. It's like I was racist back in the day, but that's because I was molested by a black man.
Dig it.
That's how I'm tying this in.
Dig it.
So both of the brothers, which I'm not going to name, pointed out to me as like, do we ever do anything to you? It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you beat us? And the analogy they use is like, you get up in the morning, you hit your foot on the bed, and you're like, fucking bed. It's the same analogy. If, for whatever race or whatever problem you have, you place that. And that's what those two brothers taught me, is not to place it because somebody else done that shit.
Yeah. Yo, okay, this is pretty exclusive because, I mean, it's good to actually hear you say that because, I keep it real. We all cool up in here, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like when I first met you, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I did hear all of that, I was like, man, no, was I upset? Yeah, I was upset. But the thing about it is, bro, is that it's you have to, after hearing your story, because you know what I'm saying, we've heard this, we talked about this, you know what I mean? But like after hearing your story, it made me realize that it's deeper than this black and white and Asian and shit. It's a cultural misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? Of not knowing where that person came from to develop that particular mentality. We never know. Just like, my problem was being molested by a male. You know what I'm saying? Something that nobody would know on why I act the way that I act, or am the way my libido is, and why this and why that. Now that they know, they have an understanding and approach me different. And with you, you know what I'm saying, being open about this situation of how you used to be, I know for us that just opened a whole other door of opportunities to be like, damn, okay, I see how that mentality, how you could gain that particular mentality. We all do that. Like, we so quick to judge. It's like, dang, it happened for one person, and fuck it, everybody's like this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about, the people I've dated sometimes. Like, damn, they all the same. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they think about that with us. But
like my thing my whole mentality comes from doing 10 years in prison. You know
right.
How it runs. You segregate yourself for obvious reasons.
Right.
Leave it at that. And I didn't like that. I was taught that, but I go a little bit backwards to what happened to you.
Yeah.
And I place that blame on that person or that race, which I should have never done. I should have placed on the person, not the race.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've learned to, I'm talking, the brothers I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't mean like brothers as an African American, like there's two brothers.
Yeah.
They have, all three of you guys, man, have been instrumental in me getting my life the way it needs to be.
That's love right there, man. That's love.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
Y'all hear that, people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm we're trying to turn cultural deficiency into cultural efficiency, meaning understanding each and everybody's lifestyle from what culture they're
Yep.
from. Because what I hate most is just like the imitation, what some people do, or like imitations of what they don't understand. And it's like, man, Russ, the way you are, like, I'm gonna say it like this: if if there was a picture and it would be, you know what I'm saying, us three, you know what I'm saying, black folks, and then you, I guarantee you somebody would assume that you were a white dude that's trying to act black. But then when they talk to you, bruh, you bruh, you're as country as they can get motherfucking get. You are Russell. That's just it. That's it. It would throw a motherfucker off like, what? Wait a minute. That's the whole paradigm we got to change. Like
That's not paradigm. It's paradigm.
dig them. Okay,
Paradigm.
you know that's what
Little.
we go yeah. That's what I like. You know what I'm saying? If and like I said, I was in my first interracial relationship. You know what I'm saying? And when I was in one, it I went about it the wrong way, and maybe that person went about it the wrong way. I don't know, but I always said like this: if I was going to date somebody of another race, all I want them to do is be their fucking selves, dog. Like
Yeah.
just be how you were raised, be how it is, because that's the reason why I'm with that person, because they're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Real talk, man. Man, Russ, we really appreciate you sharing that with us, man. Real talk, man. And thank you for always listening, bro. Like, you've always been very
Always.
supportive, you know what I'm saying? You've always had open doors, dog. Real talk. You are a prime example, you know what I'm saying, that you know what I'm saying, this everything is all a misunderstanding, and you know, people can just sit down and have a talk and learn each other's story. Watch how God works.
That's what friends are for, man. I got something for you to think on after your podcast.
All right.
Look up the name Keisha Cole. I dated her in middle school.
All right. I'll check that
Look
name.
that up.
Okay. I'll look it up, homie.
Keisha Cole. She's got silver eyes.
Okay. All right. I will write that down, man. I'm gonna get out this phone. I'm gonna hit you up after the show on that then.
All right, bro. Have a good night. I'm going to bed.
All right, for sure, man. Good night.
See.
Yeah. Boy, that's when you know you working, when you got to go to bed at 7:30. All right, Keisha Cole. Let me. What you know? Hold on. What's going on? It's gonna be a shock factor, Pack. Gonna be a shock factor up in here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just getting back. You know, shout out to everybody that was in. I think there was a chick named Maria on here. What's up, Clint Bozeman? So great to see you. Doing your thing, bro. What's up, man? Hey, Clint was the one that put me up on, you know what I'm saying, Collective Soul and all that. So I walked upon high. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy right there. I'm gonna scroll down. What's under Clint Bozeman here? What up, Demario? You know what I'm saying? Thanks, man, Demario, bro. We got to get you on the show, man. Thanks for sharing the stream, man. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. I saw somebody named Maria or something. That might have been somebody from your thing or whatever. But shout out to Maria. I think that was her name. She did a little wave. I probably, you know, hollering at Pack with her, but still thank you for, you know, for coming in and stuff like that. But just to kind of, consolidate all this, like, in conclusion, in a sense, man. Yeah, oh, Mary. Yeah, Mary Mobley. Yeah. What's up, homie? You know what I'm saying? Thanks for tuning in, you know what I mean? And thanks for the callers that we're in. And this is all I'm trying to say right here, my people. Like, whether you're black, you're white, or you're Asian, or yellow, or purple, or mixed, or any of that shit. At the end of the day, learn who you are, be who you are at all times. Don't ever compromise yourself just to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Who's that? Oh, who that be? Oh, what up? What up? What up, Ronald Lovett? What up, fam? You know what I'm saying? What's goody good? What is good? You know what I'm saying? I think that was it. Yep, Amber and Russell and Ronald, and everybody else that was tuning in, man, as we as the numbers were rolling up, man. But at the end of the day, oh, shout out to Jacqueline too. I hope I said that name right. Is it Jacqueline? Don't be mad at me, Jacqueline. Please don't do it. But in conclusion, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to learn to be themselves, learn to love yourselves. You don't have to uh conform to anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about respecting the culture. What the way you can respect the culture is accepting their history, accepting what they've been through, whether black or white, wherever they're from, where they lived, their conditions and stuff like. Respect that. You don't have to change up your dialect. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to change the way you dress or your mannerisms and stuff like that just to prove to somebody that you can be trusted. Because that's the last thing that we looking at. I trust a person that's just themselves. You know what I'm saying? I trust a person that just be themselves, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? That's how we can get along in this shit. So all these little perpetrators out here, y'all stop that. Stop that. If that's really not you, man, stop it, man. There's something inside of you that you don't love about yourself, that you feel like you got to be somebody else. And somebody's going to love you for who you are, because I guarantee you the real you always comes out at the end of the day. When them blue lights flash or when you're trying to get a job, you know, let's just keep it real. So I encourage everybody to be themselves, be independent, start your own businesses if you're complaining about your boss and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't going to get along up in this mug, you dig? Do for yourself, love yourself, respect people's culture, and I don't think we would have any problems, you dig? So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in on this Monday, January 13th. This is Royce Massengill. This is Royce's Rant. Shout out to Orange Click, Orange Leaders, K-Team. And we up out of here, people. One.
Royce's Rant.